Hello everyone and welcome. I'm back again with the 1969 Chevrolet Camaro parts bin build. In the previous videos of this series, I assembled the 3D printed chassis and made some body mounts. I'm already really liking how this car is turning out. I love the stance and the chassis fits this body perfectly. If you'd like to check out the previous two videos of this series, check out the playlist linked below in the description. As I'm sure you'll recall, it's not just me building the car this time. I'm having all of you help me out by deciding everything from the motor to the paint color that this car should have. I want to give a huge thanks to everyone who participated in the polls I posted last week. I'm really loving how excited you all are to see this project. I posted two polls, one for what color to paint the car, which the clear winner was dark metallic blue, and another that was to decide what wheels to use, which was a little closer but still a clear winner for the Krager SS style wheels. Awesome choices, I gotta say. I'm really excited to see how this car is going to look, and I hope you all are excited as well, so let's dive back into this build. As you can see, I've got a bunch of parts here that I'll be using, including the bumpers, grille, and glass. I received quite a few requests to use the RS front grille for this build, so that's what I'll be using. As always, I wanted to do some prep work prior to painting the body. I started by sanding the entire body with some 600 grit sandpaper, as well as removed any imperfections such as the mold lines. All in all, this body seems very well molded with very little work being needed. I glued this rear piece into place using super glue. I'll later be sanding the transition between it and the body to improve the appearance. One thing that I like to do with most bodies is deepen the panel gaps. Here I'm using a brush to remove any dust or pieces of plastic from the lines. The bumpers look pretty nice right out of the box, and they fit the body well. After a quick pass with a Scotch-Brite pad, the body is looking great and was ready for primer. Before applying the primer, I made sure to thoroughly wash the body to remove any dust or other contaminants. Also did my best to make sure that there won't be any bits of plastic in the panel gaps. I like to just use standard automotive primers. I usually go with whatever's on sale at the time. While that's drying, I turned my attention to the wheels. They look nice, but need a coat of chrome paint to really make them look good. I decided to try using these street tires that came with the kit rather than the silicone slicks I had on before. I needed to heat the tires up with some hot water to get them to fit, but once they're on, they look awesome. I used Rust-Oleum chrome paint for both the wheels and wheel nuts. Speaking of chrome, I cleaned up the bumpers the best I could, as well as the grille and spoilers. I plan on leaving the bumpers chrome, painting the RS grille similar to how it would look from the factory, and painting the spoilers flat black for a bit of contrast. I'll probably be giving the glass a very dark tint since the car doesn't have any interior. I just did a little sanding around the edge where it was attached to the tree. The white primer on the body was dry and could now be sanded smooth with some 600 grit sandpaper. At this point, I wanted to make sure that the grille and front bumper fit well, which both did. The car is now ready for paint. I started by spraying flat black on the inside of the body and underside of the hood. I thought it would be nice to have the inside black rather than body color. However, by the time I was finished painting the outside dark metallic blue, the inside was pretty thoroughly coated, so not a big difference, but worth a try. The paint I'm using is from Rust-Oleum, and this is the same metallic blue I used for the 91 Camaro Z28 build a while back. I went about this paint job a little differently after doing some research. Rather than applying a bunch of light coats followed by a wet coat, I applied just one light coat followed by a single wet coat, and the result turned out very nice. There's still a little texture in spots, but overall it's great. It's nice and smooth and thin enough to make out all of the details like the emblems. I painted a few other parts like the spoilers as well. At this time the chrome paint was dry, and check out the wheels. They look much better in chrome in my opinion. I probably could have done a little better job to make the paint just a little smoother, but they're great looking overall. And wow, does this body look sick. I know the comparatively large flakes in comparison to the 1/25th scale car is not everyone's cup of tea, but I think it looks awesome. This same metallic paint might have looked a little overkill on the 91 Camaro I built, but on this era of Camaro, I think it looks right at home. Maybe a car that was customized at some point in the mid to late 70s. As you can see, the car is really coming together great. As I said before, I love the first gen Camaros, and I think this one is going to be a real winner. The chrome and metallic blue is just spot on in my opinion. You all have some great taste in cars. There is still one more thing I want your input on, and that is stripes or no stripes. I'm going to veto the white stripes since, although they might look cool, I think the black stripes would look better on this car with the black spoilers and dark tinted windows. I know some people were saying go with the chrome trim, and others were saying black out the bumpers and trim. Seeing where the car is at right now, I think I'm going to go with the factory style chrome trim and bumpers. With the metallic paint and Cragar wheels, I think the chrome on the body will look awesome. In the next video, I'll be adding the final details to the body and completing the car, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Also keep an eye out for the final poll I'll be posting on the community page. That's going to be all for this video. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.